Let's see. Alrighty then. Welcome back to Roll for Mischief. This is episode 4, Stormfront. And
It's the front of a storm.
the front of the storm. The Stormfront. Rah. And when we left off, our characters had just downed a vicious troll and then simultaneously lost track of all the important stuff that we were supposed to be taking care of. And the troll came back to life, and I tried to deal with that as best as I could, but the head got away. And yeah, now we're back together.
And comparisons to the thing were made, and something that I would like to point out is that as far as Onn and Alton were concerned, Eigner was left alone with that head for quite a while.
Yeah.
This is true.
What are you trying to say?
Comparisons to the thing were made. That's all.
Yeah,
we're saying
that's
here.
all we're saying. I think I'm remembering what that movie is now. Pretty sure I remember exactly what happened in that flick.
If you
I'm
don't
just saying,
remember the scuttling severed head, then you don't know that movie.
I just know the gist of it.
It's such a good movie.
All I'm saying is that if Eigner starts sprouting spider legs, it's all over. We just gotta kill him.
Oh.
Hey, that's not fair. That's not fair at all.
So, for the rest of this session, we are going to bash on Eigner. There will be no D&D. If you don't want to watch that,
Oh my goodness. You guys are too much. You drive me to drink, you guys.
You know what drives me to drink? Dehydration.
That's
Oh, God.
that's kind of funny. It's
Alright,
a little funny. Okay.
That's kind of... Yeah. Alright, so, you guys got back together again.
Mhm.
You now have an orc, you have a horse, you have a coffin, you have an Onn, you have an Eigner, and you have an Alton, and you have a Domni. And the sun is now pretty much set. There's a little line of light where the just the evening, the sunset is just above the tree line, just a touch, but it's pretty much dark. Your road is cast in the shadows of night. The stars are out. The moon is just chilling, doing the moon thing, as moons do.
Is it a full moon?
It is not.
Doesn't
It
matter for
is-
me.
It is
Okay.
a sliver of a waning moon.
No one's got the light cantrip or anything functionally useful like that.
I guess of torches and such.
We do have torches. Yeah, let's light torches, and I'm going to lean in towards Alton and Eigner as we start gathering our things to make our move again. I'm concerned that I may have crossed a line with Brock a while ago. Sooner rather than later, he may be a little hostile towards me. I would appreciate some amount of interpositioning on your part.
As I have so many times in the past, on I will stand on your left side, in between you and Brock, and do what I can to shield you from him.
Thank you.
Don't forget, Eigner, you also have to help carry the coffin.
Oh. It seems that you're on your own.
What's Alton? Chopped liver?
Alton's tiny and has a strength of 13.
So he
Alton
could
is half my
outpace Onn.
size. Yeah, he's half
That's
my
because
size, and you're like
That's
twice.
how I hold the coffin, is like this, because if I remember correctly, I put myself at like 2'8" or something.
Oh, what I mean is basically if Brock like snaps out of this charm person and wants to deck me, I need you in between me and Brock.
Oh, okay. Or hamstring him, one of the two.
How good is that going to be? He's still going to be able to punch over him.
Yeah, that's why I said you're on your own, dude.
Yeah.
I'm literally the only person that can help you in this situation.
I don't know. There's a horse.
You're gonna get
There's
hit,
a
but
horse.
at the very least I can take out his knees.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll be necessary. You know, like, you can really try and be diplomatic with him. It seemed like he was agreeable. I mean, he seems to be rather agreeable now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Brock vaguely nods.
Yes.
Whether or not he's hearing your conversation isn't clear, but he vaguely nods.
Well, my assumption is that on pulled us aside for this conversation, not.
Yeah,
No.
not saying it in front of him.
Yeah, no, exactly. So he's out there in the road, vaguely nodding.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's agreeable.
he is agreeable.
Yes. That's a rather good point. I don't know how good I would be at timekeeping, but when I figure it's going to be about the end of the hour, I would like to re-up the charm person, in fact. If I can keep him agreeable, he's not going to freak out at night, because look how dark it is. And he's alright.
Actually, I think because he would have disadvantage on his save, so I think technically you could do that. Is there something in the spell that says that you can't?
No. For all intents and purposes, rules-wise, he can do that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
As long as he doesn't, he has disadvantage. As long as he doesn't roll well twice, then you're fine.
Yeah, there's no you can't use charm person after somebody saves, you can't use the effect again. That's like a monster ruling. You could charm it up all you want.
Sweet. I can cast charm person 4 more times. So and that's without using any sorcery points, which I also have. So yeah, in fact, I can use charm person 6 more times.
That's a lot of charming.
Yeah, that is 6
So-
hours.
So I will actually interject and say, excuse me, do you mean to tell me that you put some kind of enchantment on Brock?
I did, yes. Mostly so that we might move along quickly. I figured he would be obstructive to me helping him carry the coffin. I was also curious to see what was inside, and I did find something. Let's discuss it when we get to Telseven. I think getting a move on would be the best course of action. Right
Very well. On. I want you to know, I don't want you casting any more enchantments on people. It's just unethical.
I did struggle with the decision in the first place myself. It is getting the job done, however, and I will hold off and see if Brock acts in an aggressive manner, but if he does so, I think it would be best for us to achieve our destination at Telseven, regardless of ethics.
It does seem to be a very pressing matter. but yeah, Brock's not going to be happy about it.
No, I imagine he won't be. No. Oh, Okrim, where are you when we need you?
He could do that without casting enchantments.
Well, right. And what you have instead is Alton, negative charisma.
Negative charisma.
Yeah.
Brock kind of it's night and dark and we should move. He's staring fixed at the coffin.
Damn you, player knowledge.
I will just go ahead and march right to the other end of the coffin and say like, all right, yep, let's get going. My muscles are fresh, ready to go.
All right. How about you give me an endurance roll and I'll give me an endurance roll.
You mean like a constitution? Is that?
Yeah, that's the
is that-
one, right?
That's
That's
the
the
one.
thing.
Is saving throw or just a?
No, just a roll.
No, it's a check.
It's a check.
Okay.
Just to see how long you can go up with this coffin carrying.
Ugh, only 11.
With your constitution bonus added to that, it's only 11.
I have a constitution bonus of 2 and I rolled 9.
You suck. I mean, that's all right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. If it was like a saving throw or something, I got a better bonus there. But anyways,
It's not. Going through the start, you're able to keep up pretty well with Brock, and he seems to be in a bit of a rush. Excuse me. And yet, as the hour wanes on, and it gets to that point where Onn feels the need to up his charm spell, you start to feel your muscles just burning, and it's just getting harder and harder to keep up with the orc.
mhm.
And Onn, it's about that time. Cast charm.
I will cast Charm. He needs to make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
He fails.
Okay. Something I meant to do just as a bonus action, and I may as well do this while I'm like feeling very fatigued, is I'm gonna try and use Second Wind, which is really just to regain hit points, but if it has some kind of secondary effect of
Oh yeah,
Who
that's
dat?
a great idea.
yeah. So
Could
Yeah.
I,
Oh, good.
could I also spend a sorcery point to double the duration of this charm person?
oh what?
Yep.
Yes, you may. Yeah, it is
Because I
now
took that
2 hours.
extension. Yeah, 2 hours per charm person.
Oh
That is awesome.
wow.
Yeah. So he is charmed even longer now, and yeah, you can, as you guys keep moving, you can begin to see the lights of burning torches not too far off that signal Tilsevin, and seeing this, Eigner, you just kind of just get this build up reserve of energy, and you just hoist that coffin even higher and just start grunting and doing all the things you do just to push yourself that much further. And this actually spears Brock a little more, and you guys kind of do this like half trot of a movement as the city gets closer. As you guys make it to the city of Tilsevin, you can tell it's a dwarven city. It is surrounded in a low wall, looks to be mostly made of clay and stone, like mortared in with clay. And the buildings you can see just beyond the wall are very familiar shape to Eigner. A lot of them are single-story, like circular mounds, and they've got like essentially holes for windows, and it's very much like Adobe-style huts. They spread out quite a ways though. And the city itself, its gates are closed, and there's 4 people in armor, short dwarven people, waiting along the gates. 2 of them begin to approach you as you get closer. One of them hails you down and says, "Hey there, what business do you have in Tilsevin at this hour of the night?"
Hail, we are bringing a very delicate This isn't just me, by the way. It's like actually Eigner like having a complete mind blank as he's looking at the dwarf. He's doing this like looking at the dwarf, like looking at the village itself, looking at the dwarf, and he's just completely blanking for a second. We have a very important delivery.
We are meeting up with some associates in the town of Telsavan. We have been journeying long and hard, and were unfortunately waylaid and attacked on the road here. We're very tired, very confused by the late night trot, as you can quite see by my compatriot Eigner here. We simply seek lodging and to conduct our private business.
Something kind of flashes across the face of the dwarf you're talking to, and you mentioned the attack. And he grabs the torch from his partner and gets like it right into your face. This is like the equivalent of the police officer shining the light in your eyes. Attacked, you say? By what? Or whom?
I shall try to maintain my composure, and simply said, "A tall creature, sir. Perhaps a giant, etin, or troll."
It was definitely a troll.
And what did you do with the troll?
Burned the body. Couldn't find the head.
He looks at his partner and says, "Go, gather a party, send him out. We need that one back in the lab." Looks back at you and says, "I'm going to have to ask you to lower your cargo so that I can have a look inside."
I'm afraid the cargo is most precious. It's a sensitive matter, I'm afraid. Something in the way of a loss in a family. We're here to deliver it for funeral rites.
Right. And if I understand this right, you're traveling in the middle of the night with a corpse through our territory on a time when people shouldn't be traveling these roads whatsoever. Where are you from?
I would like to implore, sir, that we were traveling during the day rather than the night. The nighttime traveling is on behalf of the aforementioned troll. It is partly because of the times we're in. We did come from a little ways along the road there. It's not entirely safe for the kind of cargo that we carry. So we opted to break with the current tradition of things and make an effort. We came here in peace as a gesture of good faith.
Still doesn't answer where you're from.
It doesn't. At this point, I am going to give a sorrowful and contrite look towards Eigner, and then turn towards the guard, and I'm going to cast my last level 2 charm person. I shall use another sorcery point to double the duration, just so that we're not caught with our trousers down.
Are you gonna do a casting motion where it's like you're sneezing and you're like, "Oh, it's charm person."
Do you have the thing where it's like you remove the verbal component or whatever it is?
I don't know. So it is a verbal and somatic component. I've spent it so it should last 2 hours, and because I'm using the second level slot, I can target an additional creature. So there were 4 guards here.
Yeah, one of them is rushed off. One of them's rushed off and he's talking with another guard. They're the ones who are setting up the patrol to go find the troll head. And the other guard is keeping a pretty steady eye on you, but he's staying back near the gate. So 2 of the guards are actually not paying attention.
Yep.
Okay. So the one that I'm speaking directly to, and the other one that seems to be like keeping an eye on us as a group.
Okay.
Those 2 will be the ones I'm targeting. They need to make DC 14 saving throws.
They both fail.
That's now
Wow.
amenable. Let's
at
Perhaps because we plan to rest. These questions could wait until the morning. As you can see, we are run ragged from marching heavily across the dark and perilous roads after this troll attack. Your men seem to have it well in hand, and we won't be going anywhere in a hurry. If you could point us towards the nearest inn, you could find us there in the morning.
uh, the dwarf studies you, kind of working on making his mind up, and the guy leaning against the gate, he says, let them in. They'll be fine. They'll stop at the inn just inside the city gates, and we'll check on them in the morning. We've got plenty to do tonight as it is. And he nods and says, all right. Just, head inside the gate or the city, find your inn, come to us, and let us know where it's at so we can find you in the morning.
Many thanks, my friend. Another sorry look towards Eigner, and then I did nothing.
I won't say anything, but I'll just maybe do one of these, you know. But honestly, at this point, I'm pretty tired and don't really want to argue at all. It's your decision.
It's the path to the dark side.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But Eigner's not the preachy type much anymore. He used to be.
Oh, go ahead.
So I suppose we go to find the inn now. The other one was saying that there's an inn like just inside the gates.
So there is an inn just inside the gate. However, Darius had told you that you could stay at Sven's Head, and that would be where his family would meet up with you for to take the course. And that's further in the city. It's not the first inn you come by.
Let's go to that other one then.
Okay. Sven's Head?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, go to where our job tells us.
Where your job tells you to. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you walk past the hanging sign over one of these another one of these single-story dome buildings. It's rather wide. It says the Drunken Pony, and on it is a very very silly engraved like carving of a horse in a single like no detailed shot with a stein in one hand. And then you keep going down until you find the place you were asked to go stay at. Give me a moment here. So, inside Sven's Head it's a smaller establishment than the Drunken Pony, but coming in at this time of night, it's pretty much dead. There's no one in the common room aside from just a single dejected-looking male dwarf with a very patchy, small beard. And he looks to be sitting and drinking, although he also looks to be probably the person running the place. He's the only one in there. And when he sees you, he looks up and goes, company? What can we do for you here? Then when he sees Brock, he goes, "Oh, Brock, it's you. You have the package." Brock walks up, greets him, blah blah blah.
Might we be able to rent a room or two?
Oh, are you? You're the ones here delivering the thing. Okay, yeah. Let me see what I've got. And he goes, hold on. Well, we've got to figure this out first. Like, watch this. And he reaches into his sleeve and just pulls out a long thing of silk, which then he just flips out, and it's about a 4-foot tall silk blanket, and he like puts it over himself, and he covering himself completely. And he's like, "All right, are you ready for this?" And he drops it, and just as he does, he turns and runs towards the desk, and then standing behind the desk, he goes, "Voila, I'm here."
Was he very good at that?
No, it was very
Yeah.
poorly done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, yes. Stunning.
Thank you.
Uh,
I've been working all week on that one.
I actually will try and do a persuasion check to honestly let that not come off as sarcasm. I feel bad about it. I'm gonna try and persuade him that I actually am stunned. Oh, and I rolled a 19 and I add 1, so it's a 20.
You seem as stunned as you've ever been in your life. Even Onn thinks that,
Yes.
that this was just your pure
I'm
real amazement.
absolutely amazed.
Brock kind of goes, "That was a pretty bad hit."
I convinced everyone that I was so, but the most important thing was to convince him, because
Yeah.
I really felt bad and I didn't want it to be sarcastic, and yeah.
And the dwarf behind the desk goes, "Okay, here it is. I've got the note. There were 4 of you coming, and we've got the rooms. And there's another note. Okay, all right. So according to this note, it's going to be 6 gold per person. Per room.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll fork it over.
Yeah, I'll fork over my 6.
Same.
All right. And then he goes, "Can I get you anything else?"
Please, just a hot dinner and some cold ale, if that's possible.
I think we can find that. And then you hear a voice from a opening. The doors are like, not actual doors, but just openings with curtains hanging over them. And you hear a woman's voice going, "Tecker, I'm out of wine." He goes, "All right. Yeah, I'll get your meals, and I'll see to that." And he slouches his shoulders and kind of like marches out of the room.
It was a nice freaking hotel for 6 gold.
Unless we just got swindled.
Brock turns to you all and says, "Well, I think we should get this out of here, like not in the middle of the room."
Yeah, I mean, where are the rooms in which we are staying, or?
Well, I don't know. Tecker left.
Oh.
Eigner, Alton, you could go ahead and settle yourselves into the room. I'm just going to sort out the details with Brock here. The 2 of you have worked so hard this evening. I'm going to quickly put my arm around Brock and quickly whisper into his ear, "I think we should hide the body before the guards come knocking in the morning. And we should probably hide it somewhere where the person inside is not going to get up and wander around."
You know about that?
Of course. Darius and I put up a good show, but we're good friends.
Deception.
I think that's a deception.
That's a check, but
You
you
have
have
advantage.
You have advantage.
Yeah, he does.
Deception.
It's a good thing I've got advantage. Okay, that's 16. Yeah, 16. Not terrible.
She nods and says, "That makes sense. Darius likes to keep a lot of things, quiet. I think we should find. Is it Bruin? Is that right?
Baron.
Baron.
Bairn. Yeah.
Baron. There it is. I think we should find Baron and make sure that we get all this stuff situated where it should be. And then a second later, Tekker comes into the room with 3 glasses of, or 4 glasses of ale, and sets them on the table, and says, "Well, here's just the house mead, and my father will be along soon at some point, maybe. I don't know. He was supposed to be here like 2 hours ago. Yeah." He smiles weakly, trying to convey that he knows what's going on.
Tekker, is it? We were also wondering which rooms would be ours.
Oh, of course. Right this way. I will show you.
Very well. I will take my mead, or what have you, and follow.
It's a mead.
Yeah.
Not an ale. Alright. So, Tekker leads the way, shows you to your rooms. He leads you through a doorway near the back of the common chamber, and it leads down, so that, you're starting to get the feel for these buildings, that they're all single story on the top, but, that's because they utilize the underground areas pretty heavily. So you're going down into a smaller, or into an area where that spreads out with rooms on either side, and it's pretty spacious. But everything serves a purpose. There's not a lot of fancy art. There's not a lot of any decorations at all. And if there is, it serves a very firm function. He just shows you the first 3 rooms down the bottom of the stairs. And then he just says, "You guys can choose whichever one of those you want. I'm sure that I've got something somewhere here." And these rooms do actually have doors. And he makes a very, obvious searching through his pockets motion. And then he goes, "Oh yeah," and you can see in one hand just sort of this glint of light and this jingling as he reaches behind Eigner's ears and goes, "Voila!" and produces 3 keys.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, wait. Okay, so I only rolled a 4 persuasion this time, but I'll say, "Oh my good gods, upon this earth that in the heavens that is astounding."
It's okay. What was your name?
It's Eigner.
It's okay, Eigner. I know after seeing my disappear and reappear trick, nothing else really stands up quite like that. I understand. I got to work on it a little bit better. But here are your keys. There are your rooms.
Maybe don't open with your best trick. What you do is you start with your second best trick, right? And then you go through and then you go back down and you start having a building tricks, and then boom, you end with your best trick.
Did you learn that at Bard College?
No.
Sorry, I felt some Okrim sort of seeping in.
No, that was very much so an Alton thing, because Okrim would have had the decency to say it right. That's just knowledge that any idiot walking into a pub would be able to figure out.
True. All right. Stop tall people splaining, Alton. Oh, that was probably a bit sensitive. Okay.
I think that I should teach Tekker Charm Person and just have him charm people into thinking that his magic is good.
Yeah.
Until an hour later.
Yeah. Just like a Jurassic Park film.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
I really liked that movie. And that was shit. Alright, so enough politics, because Jurassic Park is politics.
Right.
Uh,
Social commentary.
um, I just met people who like Jurassic Park. It's a political debate because I like it, but don't judge me. All right, so um, I'm
So,
sorry. You guys have the keys to your room. What are you gonna do with those?
well, I am going to just go ahead and say, like, I'll be taking this one. If anyone needs to bunk up more than, you can if you'd like. And then I'm going to go in there just to drop some stuff off, essentially. But I am going to make my way eventually back over to what serves as the common room to try and get a hot meal.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my own key, and not care about what anyone else is doing, but I am going to go out and stable the horse. Yeah, I'm just gonna go out and stable the horse. So I don't know, like whatever that costs, but
Um, yeah. Tacker will let you know that they have a stable, and and he shuffles through his papers, and oh yeah, here's the note here. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be 10 gold for your stabling your horse.
yeah, okay.
I mean, it comes with
Yeah.
food, and we rub it down and all that stuff. Like you got to pay for your food in the thing. If that's why you're wondering if there's the difference of price.
Okay, yeah, that's my horse gets to live better than I do. My horse does.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Your horse. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I give him the 10 gold and I walk away.
You still got like 10,000 minus 10 gold left, so.
I know.
Good.
I was emphasizing my horse because I have now
Yeah.
decided to officially take ownership over this
For
horse.
sure, for sure.
For 10 gold,
Yep.
Darius is not getting this back.
You did not get this horse from Darius. You rented this horse from somebody in Twin Harbors.
That's
Did
true.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh right, but still no. Screw him. He charged $10 for a horse because that was a note from him, from the guy in the horse rental in Twin Harbor.
It's a note. That's all I'm gonna give you
Yeah,
on
but-
that.
it's a lease to own agreement. You're leasing this
Well, no.
horse, and
Yeah, I
you're
know.
making payments on this horse.
Oh no
Yeah,
no
okay.
no no. That's different. Like you're talking about the stabling. There's a note attached to
Yeah,
everything
from-
you paid so far.
Right. Who is passing that note along? Because that's a player knowledge versus character knowledge. Character would remember that. Josh does not.
I haven't given you that information, so neither player nor Josh should know that.
Or character nor player should know that. Okay.
I mean, go ahead
yeah,
and
I
make your
forgot
assumptions,
that-
but I haven't told you.
We rented that. Okay, I thought that was from Darius.
Oh yeah.
not
No,
From
that was one of those moments where I'm like, I don't care what the money is here because I don't have a strong grasp of that part of the economy, so it's not fun for me. I'm just make up numbers and take them. That was kind of where that moment was at.
yeah. 10 gold is a week's worth of, like over a week's worth of a hotel. That's all I was like. What? No, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
So Brock is also sitting in the common room drinking and staring at the box. He's getting a little more of like a focus to what he's doing and what he's saying as he's communicating with people who aren't on. But once Onn steps back into the room, he kind of gets this big doopy grin on his face, kind of like every time Ron is hanging out with Harry. Just like, and yeah, Tecker is taking Alton outside to stable the horse.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Are we saying that Harry was just charming Ron the whole time?
yes,
Yeah.
that is the only thing that makes sense
That's the only fan theory that makes sense.
because Why would Ron hang out with Harry otherwise, given all of his other, complexes about being the second fiddle?
Mm.
Anywho,
Anyway,
back to game.
Mm.
The box is still sitting in the middle of the floor.
Right. So, yeah, Brock and I should take this to the place, do the thing.
Brock kind of looks at you and goes, Tucker left again. I still don't know where this is supposed to go. I'm losing
Dude.
my Brock voice.
Oh, wow, that's well,
wish-
in that case, we should find a place to store it. Stable would work.
If Darius were here, this would all be kind of figured out, but you can't really rely on the rest of his family to actually have things worked out.
I'll look up. Wait, no, wait. Never mind. My character doesn't really know Darius at all. Never mind.
That's right.
I know Darius, but my character does not.
Brock, give me a hand. We'll take this through to the stables. The guards shouldn't think to look for it there.
That is a decent idea as any, I guess. And he gets up and hoists one end up, and then looks at you and goes, "Are you sure you're able to carry this?"
I'll be fine.
And I believe you.
He's got this. Look at him go! That's literally what Eigner's saying as he drinks the last of that mug of mead. Look at him go! So proud of that. Onn Thenois.
Yeah. I'm
Moments.
gonna try and brace it on my shoulder or something going on.
Minutes later, Eigner is left in the common room alone. And he hears a woman's voice shouting from one of the doors. Tucker, I'm out of wine again. Why don't you just bring the whole bottle? Tucker.
I'll scan the room and see if there is a bottle of wine around.
There is a bottle of wine just next to the desk where he's been looking at all this paperwork and finding the notes that have to do with you guys.
Okay. I'll go ahead and, since I was looking for a refill on the mead anyway, I will go over there and pour some of the bottle of wine into my mead mug, and then take my mead and the bottle of wine and follow to where the voice was coming from.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk into a room. It goes down a little bit again, a few steps, and into this just this cush sitting area, and it looks a whole lot more comfortable than the common room or even your bedrooms, and just sitting on a couch, just kind of lounging there is a middle age for a dwarf. And she's got like blondish hair that's peppered with silver and white, and not just the lightest shadow of 5 o'clock shadow there, but not too bad.
As is customary for dwarven
Yeah.
women.
And she's got a very elegant gown, but the way that she's laying is not very ladylike, and she's just spread-eagled, and her dress is all like every which way, and she looks at you with drunken eyes and says, "You're not Tecker."
Yes, I realize that, ma'am. My name is Eigner. I'm afraid that Tecker is occupied at the moment, and I saw the wine and figured I could deliver it just as easily as Tecker could.
She looks you up and down and says, "Well, If you brought wine, you might as well pour it.
Very well. Would be my pleasure.
Why don't you have some for yourself as well? Take a seat. Tell me about yourself, Eigner.
Very well. I'm a fighter. Uh, just passing through. Took a job to deliver a very important package to this very tavern. I mean, this very inn, rather. Um, I hail from the Twin Harbor area.
Oh, so you were there when all that stuff went down. She takes a long drink from her wine after saying that.
Yes, I was not actually in the city at the time, but I witnessed the aftermath, and it is quite ugly. Quite ugly.
Well, let me tell you something. We were in the city, in our home, in our wonderful, lavished home. And then, after this ambassador went and had himself murdered, my so intelligent son decided it's time to move the family out to this shithole.
And your son would be...
Well, one of them is that no-good layabout Tecker who's not here to serve my wine.
Ah,
But the other would be Darius, probably the person who hired you to do this job in the first place.
click, bling, bling. Eigner just connects like 15 dots all in his head all at the moment. I see. I'm curious. Is yours a rather large family? I seem to have met very many of you in very short manner.
Yes, the Bufos are well known and well off, and there are many of us.
I see.
Sometimes too many to keep track of. She holds her hand out like this. I'm Goethe, by the way.
I do the customary like bowing, very gentlemanlike, taking the hand, just grazing the lips, just delicate kiss.
Mhm.
A pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
It seems you know how to treat a lady with respect. Maybe you could teach my husband a thing or two.
I would not presume. I could not presume. No, I'm afraid it's my military background betraying me. We're taught to be very, very proper.
Well, good. It gives you a bit of backbone. Again, more than my husband could say.
Is your husband present at the inn?
Well, he should be. He should have been here yesterday. He should have been here to meet you hours ago. But who knows when that man will ever be, where he'll ever be.
I see.
Well, can I help you with anything else?
No. To be honest, I need to go finish my meal and get some sleep. We were ambushed by a troll on the road, and it's got me quite tired.
They're still using those things? Very well. I have drinking to do.
They are still using those things?
Yes. The military, the town guard, whoever decides that they have any value, they think, release a monster on the road and it'll keep the riffraff away.
Excuse me? The town guard of this town released that monster?
Did I stutter?
No, you didn't. I just am incredulous.
Yes,
How is that sensible?
apparently it saves on numbers. If you have something wandering the roads, then the town can actually keep the guard in the city, and the military can actually deploy its troops in the places, and if anybody tries to wander into that region, it's not sensible, young man, which is why I'm quite annoyed that they're still doing it, but they seem to think it has some value.
I simply cannot and will not understand. At that, I will say thank you, Goethe, for the information. Perhaps we will speak again soon.
I do hope so. You have been very charming.
And I'm off to finish my stew.
All right. So Eigner, you have or Eigner, just dealt with Eigner. Alton,
Mhm.
you're there, kennel or stabling the horse,
Mhm.
and moments later, minutes later, Brock and On come out with the coffin to store it in the kennels.
Mhm.
You see them coming through. On
Uh,
doing his best to keep up with the orc, who seems to be humoring him at the moment.
I do not ask questions. I don't want to know. So I just kind of, as I pass by them, I just kind of like give them a inquisitive look and a little bit of a head tilt, and just okay. Then I just continue on. I don't want to know. That's the answer. Is I don't want to know.
You just don't want to know.
Don't
Yeah.
want to know. All
Yeah.
right.
So I go back, and then I join Eigner to grab food before going to bed,
Sounds good.
and sit there, hopefully silent, completely soundlessly between the two of us. Just no
Oh,
conversation. Just...
Easily achievable. Easily done. Yeah. Egner's so hungry. That's all I can focus on.
All right. Well, On, how you doing there?
Powering through, soldiering through. It's all
All
good.
right.
It's all good. So yeah, we'll get this into the stables, and I will quickly scan the place for a hay bundle, preferably if there's like a hay loft section to the stables. Ask Brock to take it up the ladder, or stairs if there's some there. But
Okay.
yeah, just find somewhere to stash the box.
Yeah, there is no there's no like second level to it. There's just but there is hay scattered along the ground. You guys have like large stacks of them that you could spread about and hide it.
Good stuff. Yeah, we'll set it down and hide it, because that's yeah. Before we head back in as well, I'll mention to Brock, as I revealed in the in there, I'm aware of the broad strokes of the situation. Purely out of curiosity, feel free to say no, my dear friend Brock. What is the mechanism by which the old grandfather manages to maintain some semblance of his locomotion?
He studies you very seriously, and without saying a word, he unbuttons the collar of his shirt and pulls it down, and you can see along his collarbone where there are bite marks. And he says, "There's a reason Darius sent me."
Wow.
Huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Brock's his fucking blood mule? That's so crazy. God damn, dude.
Do you phew,
Oh,
how
and that's like
how often
shit.
how often is this required?
um, at least once a month when he wakes up. Usually it's on a new moon. You know, when there is no moon, It's when he wakes to come up again.
Dude, we're like fucking 3 days away from that. Did you see the fucking sliver? Jesus. Okay.
It's gonna
Uh,
happen.
Um, Brock, thank you for your invaluable help in bringing it through here. I suggest that we go back to the inn and retire to rooms where we can fully rest, recuperate, enjoy some of the fine food and drink inside. I'm going to retire straight to bed.
Oh, all right. We can. Well, thank you for all the help.
Yes. Give my best to Eigner and Alton. I'll greet them in the morning.
Of course.
I'm not going to secretly do anything. I am just going to stay staring at the door to my room all night while sat cross-legged on the bed.
All right. Yeah. So then, we pretty much walks in the common room and straight to his bedroom and closes the door, and Egner and Alton keep eating and then do the same, except they probably sleep.
Well, yeah, because we didn't learn that fucked up shit.
Right.
So can we call ourselves a long
Well,
rest?
we can call ourselves long rested for sure.
Long rested. Okay.
Oh, I was looking at that thing you said about Bjork the Orc. Okay.
Bjork.
Bjork. Yeah. So you rest, and some of you don't rest, but somewhere along the line, Onn finds himself like dipping in and out of a trance. So I would say at a certain point you do get your actual 4 hours of sleep, unless you actively want to fight it.
Actually, yeah. I want to stay fully alert and aware.
Okay.
I do not want anything sneaking into my room, so I will happily take a level of exhaustion to stay up.
That's heavy, dude.
Okay. So yeah,
It's
you
heavy.
do take a level of exhaustion, and just paying attention and staring at that door, you hear footsteps. So you don't even know how many hours into the night it is. They're heavy footsteps, thud down the stairs, and the crack beneath your door lightens up as though someone is carrying a torch as they walk. And you can see those footsteps. You hear the footsteps stop, and you see the shadow, the two shadows of feet just at the base of your door. And that stays that way for probably a few minutes. And then the feet turn, and you start hearing the thuds as they walk back up the stairs.
Fuck. I would like to wait for maybe like a full minute until they've gone all the way up the stairs, and then, as quietly as I can, lower my feet to the ground and creep over to the door. Just open it slightly. Have a look out. Do I see anyone?
The hallway is pitch black. None of the torches along the wall are lit. Your room's fairly close to the stairs, and you can look up and you can see some light flickering from the common room above. But other than that, there's nobody actually in the hallway.
I'm just gonna go back to my room and stare at the door, and I might just commune with my nightmares for a bit and just tell them that I'm not going to be sleeping for a while, so that they should go on holiday or do something.
Yeah, the rest of the night goes on without incident like that. And morning comes around, and Uh, there's a loud clamor from upstairs, loud enough to wake anybody who might still be sleeping in the early hours, in the, I guess early-ish hours in the morning. I guess to me it'd be like 5:36 in the morning. Uh, and then there's lots of voices, loud voices bellowing from the common room. You can't really make out what they're saying through the doorways of your own rooms, but there's definitely a commotion up there. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm going to go ahead and say that Eigner, for many reasons, is an early riser. Partly also just like the military lifestyle and just like, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So he's pretty much just getting the last bits of his gear on as he hears the clamor coming from upstairs. So he will be exiting his room and cautiously, observantly walking up the stairs, trying to get a sense of the situation. You are muted, Asa.
As a matter of fact, I am.
Yeah.
As you come out of your room, the voices become more clear. There's a woman and a man arguing. You can kind of recognize the woman's voice as good as you had talked to her enough, but you don't recognize the man's voice at all. And they're debating things in a language you may not know unless you know Dwarven.
Sorry. Let me look.
No worries.
Proficiencies and languages. Oh yeah, of course I know Dwarvish. Duh.
I thought
I
Agner
don't.
might. I thought if anybody did, it would be Agner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're arguing in a language you don't quite know, but have heard spoken enough in Twin Harbors to recognize it as Dwarven.
Mm-hmm. But I do
And,
speak Dwarvish.
Oh, you do? Okay.
No, I do. That's what I said.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
remember
you
he was translating for Okrim.
did. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were saying it sarcastically, and then said no, I don't. I misheard
Oh
that.
no, I actually did. Like, I
Alright.
said, of course I do.
Okay, so yeah, they are arguing very very loudly, and it seems to be about money. You tend to. Um, Gerda is accusing this man of being gone all night, out spending the family money with no consideration of anyone else or how much is left. Um, and he of course is denying this, and it goes to challenging manhood and calling into question the things he's spending that money on. I'm sure you can draw some conclusions
Yeah,
there.
for sure. I'll just go ahead and go, and I don't even need to like knock on their doors necessarily. I mean,
No,
if they're locked, then I won't be able to
Oh.
open them. But I'll just like knock or try and open on the other two doors and say like, "Hey guys, I think the guy we're supposed to meet is here. Maybe, possibly. I have a hunch."
It's do you wake Alton first?
Sure.
Well, I mean, if they're just crashing, yeah, you can. I come out.
I just want some backup. It sounds like it's getting ugly up there.
Right. Unlike Eigner, Alton is not an early riser.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes out. He is maybe a little too used to being on his own, and in the water. So he is not wearing anything.
Mm-hmm. Eigner is not phased at all by the halfling junk. He is just not phased. He's just like seen so much shit that he just does not.
Yeah.
It just not even register.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So he comes. He just comes out, just like peeks around the corner, kind of like looks at you. I look at you and say, "Okay, what?"
I think we got to go meet these people, and I also think these two people might kill each other. And
Like right now, or like in a minute?
I mean, in a minute. I mean, they probably got to yell at each other a little more before they get to that point. But yeah,
I'm gonna put pants on and
Yeah.
give me like 1 second. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
so I go and I put pants on, and then just pants, like no shirt, no shoes or anything, just pants, and then head out. I do not think of this as and then weapons.
Yeah.
Like I just grab my Xephos and my Copus and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I follow him.
And then I knock on Onn's door and say like, "Yeah, come on."
I'll open it immediately after the first knock.
Oh, Onn. Are you well? You're well?
Yes. Quite. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was wondering if we could get Brock and if we could go upstairs to go meet with whom I think is the person that we're supposed to meet with.
Yes.
Did you get any rest at all?
Rest? Yes, of course. Lots. Let's go. Push past Eigner.
That's so good. All right, so we got the party assembled and we're going upstairs, and I'm sure we're gonna walk in on a shit show.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you walk in, hearing the accusation in Dwarven as Gerda takes the wine bottle she's holding and hurls it at this man's head. This new person. He looks a little bit familiar to Onn in some ways. He's balding in much a similar way, although his skin is not nearly as pale, and his beard has got much more color to it. It's not just all white, but he does resemble to some extent the grandfather that Onn had a quick glimpse at in the coffin. If not younger and a bit more stout. He ducks out of the way as the wine bottle smashes into the wall behind him, and then shouts in common, "Now, woman, I didn't put together this whole operation so that you could just go and drink yourself to a stupor and we have company."
I shall leap immediately to the side of Goethe, who I've not spoken with yet. I shall grab a bottle, smash it over the table, and then stand beside her going, "Yes, there'll be no more drinking from you, vile demon."
Oh my goodness. I'll go in between the two warring sides and say like, "Okay, everybody calm down." And yes, I'm really not sure what your name is, but it's a pleasure to meet you, and yes, I'm getting the impression that we are your guests. I think we were supposed to meet you as well.
He looks at you and says, "Yeah, tonight. You're early, aren't you?" And he grabs a cup and just starts to drink.
It doesn't matter. You're here now.
I guess that's true. Did you stay in the rooms, I take it? Then he casts a look over to the corner, and you can see Tecker cowering behind the little desk that he's on.
Yeah, we rested.
Tecker, I take it you got my notes? You charged them the proper amounts and such?
Can I make an insight check?
You may. What do you kind of insight?
I rolled actually a natural 20. I was just gonna like kind of make the connection that it's like some that the notes are his system of like if he has an idea of like if there's richer people coming in, he'll leave the special notes and do price adjustments and like gouge. Essentially, I'm just like gauging if he's engaging in price gouging and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that is exactly what's happening.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to jeopardize the relationship necessarily. You know, say. Yes, I wasn't expecting such high prices out of some people. To some people who are doing you quite a favor.
He takes a long drink from his stein and then looks at you and says, "Well, you know, these times being what they are, and business slowing down, and the sudden move out of my home, things had to be done.
Sure, but we're from Twin Harbor as well. We're
Yeah,
no
but we're doing your job. Like, why are you charging us in your place? Let's overcharging us? Oh my god! Just seriously?
He takes another drink and looks at Alton and goes, "Well, I'm paying you, aren't I? I'm paying you, so I'm nothing in that agreement had anything to do with me giving you free lodging."
Right. You don't need to give us free lodging. Discount usually is a courtesy, but overcharging us?
What do you mean overcharging? Six coins is my normal rate.
You're like some
Six
sort of
coins.
blood-sucking parasite, aren't you?
This place is not a palace, so I doubt it. I didn't say anything because, whatever. I don't care about that money that much, but if Eigner is saying that you're gouging us, that's a social faux pas, and that I have a problem with. Fucking big folk, man. Why are big folk so greedy?
Look, I don't have to stand here and listen to all these accusations. I'm a businessman. I'm a hard-working man. I do my job every single day, just like the rest of you. If I charge what I charge, I mean, it's just business. To take it personally is, it's asinine. How do I complain about how much I'm paying you to deliver what you've delivered to me? I don't think so. Do I feel like it's a gouge? Sure, it's a lot to be paying you guys 50 gold apiece to be delivering my father here.
Right. You set the price. Right. We had an agreement. You set the price.
By the way, if we're talking about that, do you have the money? Can we just end this?
Of course I have the money. What do you think I am? Some just low life on the streets, not carrying any cash, not paying his debts?
I never said
Oh,
anything
fine,
about that.
I'm saying it.
Well, I resemble that.
Yes.
Gerda, under her breath, just breathes, resent that. Then she marches out of the room. He jumbles through some, through his pouches looking for his coin purse. Clearly making a big effort and show out of it.
I'm gonna tap
finding
the
it,
fuck out of my foot.
jingling with the coin and going, with the way you have been treating me, I don't think 25 gold a person was quite worth it. I think that I should just do not deserve to be paying.
You're right. 75 gold is worth it for us.
Oh, I gotta throw out here real quick.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys were promised a lot more than that.
Oh no. God, player knowledge, man. I'm sorry. That happened. How much were we promised? Oh no, we were promised 100 gold apiece.
I think that was right? Because it was aiming
Yeah.
for your price, Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100 gold apiece. So I apologize.
No, that's
You're
fine.
right. 125 is. Thank you for that reminder.
You're welcome.
125 gold is an appropriate price.
Oh, that is astronomical. I mean, that is not the message that I had gotten from Darius. We had described an entirely different deal. I'll tell you what. Why don't we'll settle it at 75? 75 apiece should be perfect.
No. Now it's 150.
No, how about you take the original number of 125 and your offer of 75, and how about we compromise and go right to the middle of those 100 each?
And as he says that, I'm gonna grasp like backwards like samurai do. I'm gonna grasp hard to my Zephos.
He sighs. That sounds very reasonable. I guess we can settle on 100 coin apiece.
I'm so glad you can see it our way.
And I'm glad that
Yeah.
He just
Yep.
puts the coin out on the table, and then
Yeah.
I've got business to attend to. You enjoy your stay.
Will do. I mean, I didn't
He
say it that cheerily. I am gathering the gold at this point, though.
he goes to march out the door, and then he stops and he goes, "Where is the package? Anyway."
Oh, that's an extra 50 gold.
Wow, who knew Alton was the sauciest businessman among us?
No, he's not being a businessman. He's just constantly saying "fuck you." You guys can totally counter. You can totally counter that, and he won't
Well,
argue.
I don't really know where it went.
He looks at Alton, and for a moment, there's almost a sense of respect
Mm-hmm.
in his eyes, and he just nods and says, "How about we make it 30 gold?"
Deal.
He takes 30 coin and hands it to Alton and says, "And my package is where?"
I don't know. Ask on.
Where is the stables in relation to the inn? Is it like to the side, behind?
It's to the side. Yeah.
To the side. Okay. I will. Is there like an alleyway the other side? Basically, I want to try and misdirect him for a moment, and then say "excuse me," and then quickly run to the stables myself.
Yeah, you could definitely manage something along those lines. Give me what you're thinking.
So yeah, I'm thinking. Oh yes, we put it behind some barrels in the alleyway, just to keep it out of sight of guard things. I've got to go and take care of need to visit the little elves' room. Excuse me.
He just kind of looks astonished that you'd be putting it outside and goes running out.
And I will quickly run to the stables and get through the hay and try and find this box and just make sure that it is secure and that the lid is still down. And I'll sort of rock it or try and lift it slightly just to get an idea of the weight. Make sure that whoever it is still in there.
As you're like running through the hay in the stable, you hear a groan, not too far off, and then Brock sits up, just covered in hay, and looks at you with sleepy eyes. "Onn, what are you doing?"
Just ensuring the safety of everything.
He then looks at you very stern. He grabs your wrist hard and looks you dead in the eyes.
Uh-oh.
How much did I tell you?
Oh, shit. On's gonna get the shit beat out of him. Oh, no. That's why you don't put enchantments on people. That's what Eigner would scold you for.
You told me more than you perhaps should have, but now you are going to run away from me, and I'm going to cast suggestion on him.
That's what we call doubling down. That's what that is.
So that will be a DC 14 Wisdom save.
How wise is Brock anyway?
For a moment, he kind of starts to get this haziness over his eyes, and then his grip on your hand tightens, and he looks you dead in the eye. And he goes, "No, I've fallen for your tricks too many times. If you're not careful, you're going to get someone killed."
You're quite right, Brock. I don't know what came over me. Perhaps it would be best if I were to listen to you this time and see what you suggest would be the best course of action. To expediently rob ourselves of our burdens.
I suggest you take your money and you leave. This isn't your problem, and it doesn't have to be.
That is quite reassuring. Thank you, Brock. I'll see you another time. I shall try to leave immediately.
He'll let you go.
Wow, dude. Wow.
And
As I'm walking back towards the inn, if I see, what's his name, Braun,
Bairn.
Bairn, if I see him sort of walking back because he's not found it, I'm like, stables. I'm sorry, I got my left and my right mixed up.
oh, of course, it happens to me all the time. And
Yes.
he runs for the stables. And I think that should probably be where we call it a day, because it is hitting that 3 o'clock.
Yes. Yes. Fully intend to give the two of you the rundown at the beginning of next session so that we can make our escape plan.
I was actually gonna go in and actually grab all of my gear, put everything on, and be ready to leave even before all of that, because even if we stayed, I figured if we're staying in town, I'm not staying in this place anymore. So
thing to do.
yeah,
Oh,
and so
I'm all for knocking over a lantern, hoping it catches fire to things, and then just walking away. Like,
It's the on style, dude.
however you want to do, I'm down for. I'm just not staying in that place because
yeah.
it's rather aggressive, and I have no desire to stick around for any of that.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
So yeah, I would grab the stuff and grab the horse and move on to the drunken pony or whatever it's called. Was my plan.
So, all right, we have gathered all of our things, and next week we will start by catching each other up on what's going on and moving on from there. That will conclude this part of episode 4, Stormfront.